What's up, guys? Justin the Green Ranger here, coming at you today with a post-Sacramento update on the YCS that we attended in August. I'm going to go ahead and start it off with, before we get into it, I did mix up my pairings on paper. I will discuss something in this video that I really don't want the people that I played against or anybody who had seen that I was playing against these people to like be mean to them or anything like that. Like, I'm personally having a duel with you. It's between us. Like, whatever happens, happens. And when we get into that, we'll talk about sportsmanship and what was right and wrong. Before we get into that, I'll go ahead and just show off some of the YCS loot. If we did not see the video while I was there in the hotel, we did pull the Goblin Attack Force coin. My brother did not receive a coin because of a technical error, which is very upsetting. He actually got a round 1 loss, but was able to win his first round against Tempai, which is very impressive, because you lose 1 round. Tempai is almost guaranteed to win 1 round, and he won both rounds. Very, very impressive. We got a Yu-Gi-Oh box, a new box. We are replacing the green box with this box now for the main deck for the 6 Sams. Whenever you go to these events, you gotta just pick up a little something. I know everybody's spending so many, like hundreds of, I said it so weirdly, so much money on everything that they're getting. Like, everything's so expensive and so small. That's the crazy part, is they're so expensive and so small. But this was like $3, and I was like, I can't pass it up. This is something small I can put in my bag real quick. And I'm gonna always remember this. I'm gonna have this for a very long time. This is what's gonna hold our deck. We also got some sleeves. While I'm pulling out the sleeves, I'd like to thank all the people that did see me, that recognized me, that watched my videos, all the new subscribers, and all the new people that are coming in. Thank you all for watching my content. I really do appreciate it. I'm just a small Yu-Gi player that's trying to, live life and play 6 Sams through all the meta that we've all been dealing with. And I got new sleeves for our Blue Eyes deck that we are all taking turns trying to go ahead and bling out. That's a Cards of Continents. We're waiting for it in the mail. We're gonna bling out this deck. It's just a fun side deck. We've had this deck for a very long time. Just like the 6 Sams, when the structure deck came out, this stayed in a deck box and then kept getting re-sleeved, and it's a fun deck whenever we were playing just us. Those of you that were there, you received a sticker. Thank you so much for just accepting the gift. Like, you guys could have just easily just grabbed it and tossed it on the floor, but everybody was happy to receive it. I'm sorry these stickers weren't as big as we thought they were going to be. The next ones will most likely be double that size, so we'll have a bigger stickers for the next event. I'm not going to go through the deck or the deck list. I just have the deck out here, just you can see the 6 Sams. My camera's not focusing. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this. Before we we'll go ahead and start the rounds. When we started, right, as you get there, we're excited. We showed up the day before. We are 17 minutes before the registration ended to be late for the pre-registration. We made it in time, or I made it in time. My brother didn't because his deck list had a technical error. We get to the hotel room that's across the street, so we're actually really close to the venue. Really happy that I was able to get some rest. I was really too excited to sleep properly, but I was able to get some rest, and then we had to only walk less than 90 feet to the entrance of the event, which is really good. Sherrington. Right across the street from it. We get into round 1, and I'm super excited. I really haven't drank any coffee. I have a caffeinated drink in my backpack and a Red Bull and a Prime. And I'm just trying to focus on getting this round win. I do the dice roll and I lose. I'm already like, shit. Guys, we need to get the dice roll win to choose to go first so we could do our combo. Well, he chooses to go first, or for me to go first. And I was like, no way. The RNG gods are shining upon us right now in the first rounds. The judges have us wait for a little bit because there was a little bit of a delay on when the time started for the first rounds. And they say, okay, players, go ahead and go. I start playing, and my hand wasn't the best. My hand had a triple tactics. It had things to go second. So my end board ended up being just a Battle Shogun and a Nutria Beast, which in my opinion, Nutria Beast, one of the most powerful spell card breakers or negators in the game. Like that's a good board. That's a great board. And I have a couple cards left in my hand to save for the next turn so I can start to make a little combo. Well, my opponent then activates Super Poly, which is the one spell card that no fucking card effect can activate against, which is very upsetting. There's a spider on my deck box. Activates Super Poly, takes my card, does a little combo. I'm like, damn. And immediately after that, he activates the Sangin, whatever the hell field spell. I'm sorry, I'm butchering the names. I'm going to butcher a lot of the names because I don't care to know all the names if I'm not playing the cards. Or if I'm not using a card effect that needs to know the names. I don't need to know all the names. They're just ridiculous to know all of them. Activates Sangin's field spell. Activates or summons Tempai White. And I immediately tell him, no, you got that round. I've seen that line so many times. I play my brother who runs Tempais. I know exactly he got game. I don't even want to sit there and wait for that. Like, I didn't have the nib. He already took my whole board. Like, what can I do? So I'm already down round one, and that was like me upset in my head, thinking, damn, I had the chance. I had a strong board, but he just outed it. Okay, he sides. I don't side because I'm choosing to go first again. I'm trying to skip my opponent's turn. Well, as my opponent sides, he notices I don't. So I think he put some cards back. And we started the second round. Well, in my head, guys, and you can go ahead and leave this in the comments if you know exactly what I'm talking about. In my head, I'm just thinking, I need to get the FTK. This is me. I need to be the one that goes first. Well, if my opponent is running Tempais, the first thing you should do as any player against any deck, or with any deck against Tempai deck, is you let them go first because they can't do shit. And when I didn't realize that, because I'm by myself, everybody else is by themselves. Not really because you're sitting next to other people, but like you can't really like decide what's happening in your head, or what's happening on the field and what's happening in your game with somebody else at that moment. It's all in your head. So I wasn't thinking, let the Tempai player go first. I fucked up. So that was technically a round I could have possibly won if I would have let my opponent go first, and then I get to do my whole FTK or skip turn on their turn, or not on their turn, but on my first turn, because that's turn 2 and I could get the kill. Well, that's my bad, right? So we go into round 2. I go first. He's able to negate 2 of my cards. I end on a Sheehan. I have a Fuma engrave, and what else did I have? Yeah, that's what it was. It was a Fuma, a Sheehan, and that's all I could do because he negated my other 2 cards. Well, he plays his first card, which was Lightning Storm. I sent my Fuma, as protection to keep my Shein safe. He then played Dark Hole, which then I negated with my Shein. And I'm like, there's no way that he's going to have one more. He activates Regeki and destroys my Shein. Immediately, I'm like, this guy has 2 cards left, and I could almost guarantee you these 2 cards that he has are going to be the combo pieces. And he immediately summons one of the Tempais and shows me one of the spell cards, and I immediately just scoop. I lost round 1 because I was too anxious and wasn't thinking correctly. Like, I could have went to round 3 in that duel, but we just lost outright. And you know, it is what it is. When you guys go to an event, you guys will understand. Or if anybody who was at the event, or even the player that I was facing, it was a great duel. It was funny too because he had all the outs. But like, I really hope that I was respectful enough to all the players that I did face, that we had fun. And because that's all it really comes down to. If we're not topping and we're not getting into the finals and like it's super crazy serious and I need to grind every minute of every day to get this combo correct, like I'm just here to have fun. We're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm playing 6 Sams. Like, you could possibly be playing Snake Eyes. This guy was playing Tempai. Like, you guys get what I mean? And this is before we get the new support, guys, so just know that these numbers are going to be different as we go into the future. But as it stands, that is the first round lost, even though we thought we could have won if we would have just played correctly. Or not correctly, but smart. Going to round 2, and round 2, I face Exodia. And at first I'm like, Exodia shouldn't be that bad. Like, there's no way that Exodia is actually some type of good, right? Well, I didn't realize that Exodia could get to 6,000 attack power, a big meat stick, and can negate 1 card effect, right? If I'm not mistaken, it negates 1 card effect. And as I'm playing it, I see him playing. It's going downhill for me because I got hit for 6,000. I only have 2,000 left, and I couldn't get enough attack power on board to deal with that 6,000 attack power monster. So he beats me round 1 pretty nichely because it's 6,000, and then there was a 6,000 attack to hit over a 3,000 monster. But what could you do? Second round goes someone similar. I do believe I was hit with 3 different hand traps from that guy. So it was a great duel. I could have done better, but again, we also lost the dice roll. And you know, it is what it is. The better duelist won. The RNG was better on his side, and he just had the better outs. Exodia player, he did comment in my video in the last one. Thank you so much. I had a wonderful duel with you. We're going to go into the next round, and as we start this next round, this is where we're going to get into sportsmanship, right? This is not the player that had the issue, but I'm going to bring it up now so we can like mix up where he actually was. But when you come to the tournament, guys, you got to check your sleeves. Like, I had faced a few people that had bent sleeves. I'm not trying to like name how many or which ones, but just know that for sure we could have got at least 3 round wins off of bent sleeves, the corners torn. One of the guys had marked like fingertip smudges on his white sleeves on the corners. I could see it too. It looked like I don't know if he was eating or something like that in between the rounds, and he pulled his card like that, and you could just see that there was smudges on the cards. But just please, guys, like if ever you go to these big tournaments, like I know it sounds like I'm asking people to spend money, but you don't have to spend too much money on these sleeves. Like dragon sleeves are only like $5-6, maybe $7 if you get the really crazy ones. Like if you wanted over sleeves for the sleeves, those are only another $6. But like, you need to get sleeves, and you also need to get sleeves for your extra deck that are different from your main deck. Like, just know that is like it's like a public service announcement to all you guys that don't know or haven't been to major tournaments and don't know that these things are required. Like, it's like that person that shows up with the rubber band over the deck with no sleeves and the paper mat. Like, you're still going to duel against them, but that guy literally can get a round loss every single round he plays just because he's playing a illegal not supplied. What would you guys call this? Gear. Illegal gear for the deck. And another rule, to any judges or anybody who is super experienced in the rules and the technicalities of it, I heard a new one this time. I think it's really off and weird. They said that our extra deck, which is the 15 cards, can be different from our main deck, which is normal. But if we have extra deck cards in our side deck, they must also be in the same sleeves as the sleeves for the deck. To anybody who knows what I'm talking about right here, like, please, in the comments down below, tell me if this is a real thing or if this is just somebody trying to be a douchebag and get a round win just because they're like, oh, your extra deck cards that are in your side deck are supposed to match your main deck. And I don't know if this is a fact or not. This is really weird. The judges told us this, but I didn't reaffirm with another judge because I was just upset with the situation. But like I said, anybody in the comments or anybody watching this video, any new subscribers, any old subscribers, anybody that's a judge in the that sees this video, please give some clarification on this, because that right there is a round loss. And to think that I planned my deck perfectly fine, or at least I thought in my head perfectly fine, because this is how I run at my locals. And to anybody who's seen the sushi chef guy that is the duelist that's running around, he's actually my judge at my locals. So like, he's the one that told me that this is perfectly fine. Then all of a sudden we get told differently at the YCS. So like I said, sorry to ramble on that. I need some clarification on that, guys. But yeah, so I could have easily got 3 round wins from just bent sleeves. But I choose to just do the duels. So we're continuing. We go into round 3. We're facing U-Bell. We actually we lose the first round. And because we lose the first round, he goes into his sides, and I believe he didn't pull anything in his from his sides to his main in his hand when we started the first round. So he only got combo pieces. Then I skipped his turn, and then we went to round 3, and that was the first time I got the time skip off, or the turn skip off, and I was so excited. Like, I could have easily played out the whole combo, guys, but I chose to make sure that he understood that this is going to be a long time, and I don't want to waste all of his time that he could possibly be playing against me. Like, this is me being as kind of a duelist as I can, because I get called out on slow playing, which my deck isn't a slow playing deck. I skip your turn. Like, there's a point to me doing this. The only downside is it takes like 15 to 20 minutes ish during the rounds, and if they're gonna have an interaction on each time I play a card, or can I read this card, can I read that card, what does that card do, it's gonna make the rounds last even longer. So, or not the rounds, but the interaction of my turn. So this is what I was trying to say in the beginning of the video when it comes to sportsmanship. What do you guys think? Should I have not even said that and just played out my whole combo, wasted the whole 30 plus minutes and skip my opponent's turn, and then when it goes into the next round, just switch into a bunch of stall cards to wait for time and just win by time? Like, because I did lose by time in this match. He won the first round, I won the second round, and in the third round, he won by life points by 2,200. So, like, he did hit me one time, but we went to the last 2 minutes of the time was our beginning of our third round. So is it unsportsmanlike for me to play out my whole combo, or is it proper for me to be like, hey guy, like, we already dealt with the whole do you want me to use all the dice situation, and you chose not to. I'm glad that nobody at the YCS chose to see all the dice. I had judges confirm exactly what I was saying to you guys. If you guys ever wondered why I run so many dice, is because your opponent has the option to make you display your counters. That has to be something you have to be able to do if you're doing combos like what we're doing here with this deck. So you have to be able to display exactly what you're doing. If you don't have enough counters to do that, then you can't do the combo right. So I have too many dice on purpose just to make sure we don't have to deal with that. Everybody chose to see infinite, and that's how all of the duels actually went. And we also did not get nibbed a single time, which is the most depressing thing ever, especially now that Appaloosa's gone. Like, everybody was afraid of nib. I even ran 3 nibs, and still I never got nibbed. I don't know if it's because they didn't want to nib me, if they didn't draw the nib, if they didn't have the nib, they didn't side the nib. No nibs. I got impermed the most. I got Ash Blossom once, Effect Failure twice. I got there's a new trap card that locks you out of like a certain type. It's also like an Ash Blossom. And that's the thing that sucked, was like I was getting hit by the trap cards and my triple tactics can't get off. Well, even if I ran talents, like what? I'm going to search tactics and then what? I can't do nothing still. So now I'm even debating on why tactics is in the deck, because I can't even get it off half the time. They're playing everything in my draw phase or my standby phase, and then they don't have anything that can trigger it. Sorry for the ramble. We're going into round 4. The Voiceless. I seen Voiceless. That was a fun deck. I was a little confused on how to play against it. We kind of played a very long match. He hit me for like 4,100 or 950 or some weird number, 300 or 3,950. The Voicelesses are weird. I lost the first round. We go into the second round, and I kind of stall him out. I'm able to build a big enough board that he can't do anything. I'm not reacting to his stuff, and I lose to time because he has 5,800 life points, and I have 4,950. Like, if I had a way of gaining life points, I probably could have been able to gain the life points up to deal with that, but I just didn't have it. We go into round 5, and I face Fiendsmith. And as I'm facing Fiendsmith, the guy I'm playing against, and shout out to this guy, I'm so sorry, I forgot your name. I know your name's in the list. I also don't want to say names at all in this video. So he was a top player. He did get second place at some things, and he kills me in the first round. And I'm able to skip his... Oh, no. I killed him. Or I skipped his turn in the first round. That's right. I skipped his turn in the first round. And he was oddly impressed by what the Six Sands were doing. I lose the second round. And then as we go into the last round, it was like almost no time left. He activates Ghost Mourner, right? He gains 1,200 life points, and that's time in the round. He beats me by 9,200. I still have 8,000 life points. Good duel, but man, the grind's so hard against those decks. We get that's another loss that we had. So far we've had too many losses, and this is where we hit the first win. We face a Resonator, like a Red Dragon Archfiend type deck. he does a big board. We're able to Dark Ruler no more, and we're able to break everything he has on board, leaving him with like no materials to do anything. And he loses the first round because he can't make anything big enough to get over Scareclaw Triheart. We go into round 2, and he makes a big board, or he ends with something big. I forgot what the name. I forgot if it was Red Hot Dragon Archfiend or the other one. They have funny names. I just negate its effect, and I show him the skip turn combo. So we were able to get our first win off in round 6. We go to round 7, and I face Snake Eyes FTK, which is one of the craziest decks I think I've seen, because they're just monstrous. They have so many continuous things that they can do, even though you negated 2 or 3 or 4 different things. Like, they're able to just keep building board and then FTK you at the end of their turn. It just doesn't make sense on how they made these cards legal, and they're still not hurt that much that this deck is unplayable. We go into round 2 against Snake Eyes, and I skip his turn. He was very impressed with that. We go into round 3, and I lose because he FTK'd me again. So that's another loss, but I'm feeling, okay. My brother's already upset and depressed on what happened with him. I will go and talk about that here in a second, but I faced Dragoon in the last round, and it's a Dragoon lockdown. It was like he focused on just getting Dragoon out onto the field, and I was able to get through the first Dragoon by taking the second Dragoon, and then in the second round I was able to skip his turn, and by the end of that night I had 2 wins and 6 losses. My brother had 5 wins and 2 losses, or no, he had 4 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. That's what he got. He got a draw in one of his rounds, but he counted it as a loss. Yeah, guys, we got 835th place, which, like I said, guys, we could have had 3 extra round wins off of just the card sleeves being wrong. And technically, if they were to have found enough flaws with the decks or with what my opponents were using, I could have had them completely kicked, or not kicked, but like completely like lost from that match, and then deck checked, and then could possibly get kicked from the whole event just because of his cards. We've had a friend on the channel that had that same situation happen, where one of his extra deck sleeves was different, one of his deck sleeves was bent, and then something else was, he was missing a card from his deck that's no longer in the deck, and that was 3 strikes. He was out of the tournament. But like, we could have had a higher place. We could have gotten in the probably 3 more wins, which would have put us around the 200s, because my brother got placed 224. He also played in the VIP tables behind the curtains against the people that didn't have to play the 4 rounds beforehand. We could do better. We were just tired. We were excited. We were happy to play. I didn't play against anybody who I felt was like rude like that other regionals a while back ago. Everybody who I did play against, I feel like they were really wholesome. The people that did have the problems with the sleeves didn't truly understand what their issue was, and then I pointed it out, and I just suggested, hey, maybe go buy some sleeves in between the next round so you could switch your sleeves out. You need to do this, or else maybe the next person may be not as nice as me, and we'll get you a round loss for this. And I just hope that those people that do, that were my opponents that do see this video, if you do see this video, hit that thumbs up. I didn't want to be mean. We're all there to have fun. We all came from very far away. I don't want to make you guys not be able to play just because I want the win. I want the win, but I would rather have fun and get my place than sit there and make you guys have a miserable time just because I want a higher place like how my brother got. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I will have another video posted sometime tomorrow about our new combo video that we are working on. I will give you guys a sneak peek on what we are using. If you made it this far in the video, you guys get to see the sneak peek. We have a judge that was talking to me at the event that was super impressed with the skipping turn combo that suggested, why don't you do the ghost trick card? And I decided, you know what, we can do that. It's easy. And now we've done it, and I'm going to have the video up sometime tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the post Sacramento YCS. We're going to do better in the next one, guys. We are looking forward to, I believe it's the YCS regionals in Oakland. We will be going to that. I'll have a deck list up for that. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. I know it's been a while since we made videos. If you made it this far, smash that like button. Consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Thank you so much for all of you that are subscribed. You guys are wonderful. You guys have a wonderful night and stay cool.